Hey, welcome to day 5 of our 30-day money course. It's so exciting. Can you believe we've been together 5 days? Okay, well, today our topic is creating your own self-fulfilling prophecy, right? I'm Elizabeth Buko and I'm the founder of Wealth from Little. I'm also the hostess of this 30-day money course. So back to today's topic, self-fulfilling prophecies. So what's a self-fulfilling prophecy? I bet you've heard that before, right? A self-fulfilling prophecy is when a belief that we have about the future, and it's usually some kind of false belief, but a belief nonetheless that we have about the future leads you to take specific action that in turn produces results that confirm your original belief, right? So if you have a false belief about the future, and sometimes it can be a true belief, but then you take actions that produce results and then it confirms your original false belief and you're like, yes, I knew it. I knew that this would happen. And sometimes it's good things like I knew I would get a pay rise. So sometimes it's like, I knew good things don't happen to me, or I knew something else would happen to my money and I would lose it or something like that, right? So that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, why is that important with regards to our money? It really is, and it's very important when it comes to the next 2 terms I'm going to talk to you about with regards to financial independence, right? Yesterday, I mentioned 2 terms. I said CF and NW are the 2 most important terms with regards to financial independence. But before we go deep into what CF and NW mean, it's important to understand that these self-fulfilling prophecies can creep into our money. I'll give you an example. Let's say you believe that every time you want to save money, something is going to come up that's going to cause you to spend money on something else you don't want to. So therefore you decide, I'm not going to put money aside to save. I'm going to leave it in my current account because I don't want to go back and dip into my savings. It makes me feel bad. And I'll take the money out of my savings to pay for this unexpected bill. So we leave it in our current account, and the month goes by, and close to the end of the month, we think that, oh, wow, nothing has happened yet. And then bang, something happens, and we actually have to spend that money that we've earned on this unexpected bill. And we are thinking to ourselves, I knew it. This happens over and over and over again. Another form of self-fulfilling prophecies, let's say you feel that the amount of savings you have equates to the level of security or safety that you feel, right? So your savings is like your safety net, right? It's equal. So if you have more savings, you're more financially secure, you're more safe, you feel safer, right? Now, if someone comes and tells you and says, oh, actually, to grow your money, to become financially independent, you do need to start investing. And then you say, investing, what's that all about? And you realize that investing involves risking the money that you have with the hope that it will grow. Now, you heard the word risk, money is at risk, and you said, oh, no. If my money is at risk, I'm not going to be able to grow. You could lose that money, right? And so you choose not to invest. Now, even though you're saving because you're so great at saving and you think that that's going to help you grow your money, you might find out that you'll consistently be stuck in that area of you have just enough. You always have just enough because savings doesn't grow your money. You don't grow your money with savings, especially with interest rates right now. You do need to invest so that we can grow money rapidly. So those are 2 examples of self-fulfilling prophecies. But today I want you to create your own. I don't want it to be on autopilot. I don't want it to be things that you've always done. This is the way I always do money. This is the things that always happen to me with money. I don't want that to be your story. And so I want you to look back at, as we've done in the last few days, we've looked back at where we are. We've looked at our goals, our vision, and we've also looked at what our money has been doing in the last 30 days. We did that yesterday. But now I want you to decide that actually, based on where I am now, I know it's going to get better. And so I want you to create that new that new belief for the future that is positive, that says it will get better, and take the action that produces the result of a better financial life each month. Okay, let's go into cash flow and net worth. Those are the two big terms for financial independence. It's cash flow and net worth. CF is cash flow, NW was net worth. Did you guess that? I bet you did. Okay, let's first talk about cash flow. So cash flow is all about the amount of money that you have coming in each month, right? And how much you have going out. So it's money coming in and money going out. In simple terms, income and expenses, right? Now, I want you, and you've started doing this yesterday, because yesterday we looked at the last 30 days, 30 to 60 based on, when you get paid. But now for today, I want us to categorize that into specific groups. So we're just going one step further, and we're going to categorize that into specific groups. First group is your income. Everything you've earned from your job, your business, your side hustle, from gifts from people gave you money, you prizes, you won money, you received an inheritance, you got income from the government. Everything that you had coming in is your income. So I want you to list all of that under your income. Excuse me. Next is your expenses. So your expenses are all the things that you had going out, right? So I want you to list that too. But now we're going to go even further. We're going to split our expenses into two main groups. First is your essential expenses and your variable expenses. Okay, I'll explain that. Essential expenses are the things that you have to pay for, to live, right? You have to pay these every month or every quarter or every year just to live well. Now, I call this, well, not just me, my mentors also call this your four walls, right? And so these are, if you look at, like a house kind of has four walls. And so these four walls are your accommodation, that's your shelter. So if it's your rent, your mortgage, those expenses have to go out. Then your utility bills. So maybe those are things like your heating, your water bill, your electricity bill, those essential bills that you have every month, right? Then the next thing is your food, your grocery shopping, right? You need food to live. So those bills are going to come out every month. And then the last is transportation. If you have to get to work, for transportation, you need money for transportation if you're taking public transport, or you need money for petrol in your car, then those are also part of your essential bills. If you have to use some form of transportation to get to work. Of course, if you work from home or you walk to work, then your transportation cost might be zero. Okay. The next set of expenses are your variable expenses. Now, there's a little bit more flexibility in variable expenses because they can vary every month, right? So these are expenses that you can literally control, but it's not essential, right? But it's not fixed and you don't have to have it, but you can control it. So for example, some types of food can be under variable expenses, like maybe junk food, snacks, extra desserts, food eating out can be under variable expenses, hair care, entertainment, beauty products can be under variable expenses, going out with friends, if you have to, spend money for entertainment, that can be under variable expenses. Right. So I want you to split all your expenses into those two groups, those that are essential, so you need them to live, and those that are variable. Now, it's very important that you're honest, right? Many people sometimes mix this up. They see something that is variable and they decide that it's essential, right? So it's up to you to decide what is variable and what's essential, but be clear and be honest. Can you live without it? If you can, then it's probably a variable expense. Okay, good. So honesty is essential for this exercise. So you've done half of it yesterday. Now we're going to categorize it. Now, step 2 of the assignment is to calculate your net worth. Okay, so your net worth is the difference between your assets and your liabilities, right? And I'm going to explain that next. What's an asset? An asset is everything that you own that has monetary value, right? So if you have properties and they have monetary value, if you have cash in the bank, like that is not going to go on something else, in savings accounts, that has monetary value. If you have collectibles, jewelry that you can sell for cash, that has monetary value. If you have anything that you can sell for cash, that is also has monetary value, but you have to ensure that the value is the resale value. So it's, if you have furniture, that has monetary value. But even if you bought the furniture for £1,000, it's now used. So you probably cannot sell it for £1,000. So you have to be honest there. You probably can sell it for much less than the money you used to buy it, right? The amount you spent on it. So the monetary value is not the same as the amount that you used to pay for it. But in contrast with properties, you can pay a certain amount for property now, and in the future, the value goes up. Sometimes the value goes down too. So the monetary value is the amount that you can sell it for if you sold it now, right? Then the next thing is liabilities. Liabilities is everything that you owe. So if you have loans, that is a liability. If you have credit card debt, that's a liability. Bank debt, that's a liability. Car loan, that's a liability. Mortgages, that's a liability. So the amount that you owe in all these different categories, those are liabilities, right? Now, to calculate your net worth, you're going to list all your assets, everything that you own that you can sell, and the resale value of everything that you own, right? So if you have a house and you decided to sell it now, but if you have a house that you never want to sell, it's not necessarily an asset. But if you have a house that you could sell now to make more money, then it's an asset, right? So you list everything that you own. If you have jewelry and you're willing to sell it to have more money, then it's an asset. If you have cars that you can sell to make, for more money, it's an asset, right? If you have books that you can sell, the resale value is the asset. If you have furniture that you can sell, the resale value is the asset, right? So you list out everything. And then of course, your cash, any cash you have, savings accounts, investments accounts, the value, if you sold it now, of course, cash is exactly the same as what it is. But with regards to investments, if you have investments in stocks, if you sold your stocks now, that value is the asset, right? So I want you to list all your assets and the value in whatever currency you operate with. And then list all your liabilities, and the liabilities are the debt, how much you owe. So if you have a car loan, let's say you bought a car for £10,000, you had £2,000 in savings, so you gave them 2,000, you used the remaining 8,000 was the loan. The car debt is £8,000. So your liability for the car loan is going to be 8,000. So you write 8,000 because you gave 2,000 of your cash and the rest you borrowed. So that's how much you borrow. Now you can put the car under the asset as well, as long as you write the resale value of that car right now. So you bought the car at 10,000, but the resale value is no longer 10,000 because cars and all vehicles depreciate. So it means that now you find out how much, if you bought that car 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 3 months ago, it's dropped in value. So you find out how maybe now the car can be sold for 9,000 or it can be sold for 5,000. So that new resale value is what the asset is if you sold the car. That's the real asset. So, but the liability will still be 8,000 because that's how much you borrowed. Liabilities don't really change unless you pay them down. They don't lose value. It's very, very weird. Assets can lose value, especially if it's a car, but liabilities don't. So you borrow debt, it will not lose. You will have to pay that amount back. So car loan can be a liability. If you have credit card debt, write it down there. That's also liability. If you have bank loans, you write it down, how much that is. Loans for education, write it down, how much that is. Mortgage loans, write it down, how much that is. And then at the end, you want to tally, add up all your assets and add up all your liabilities. Now the total asset value in whatever currency minus the total liability value in whatever currency that you operate with is your net worth, right? And now I want you to calculate your net worth for this month, right? Calculate your net worth for this month and decide that your net worth is going to increase by next month. And here is where we're going to create our self-fulfilling prophecy. So whatever your belief might be about money, I want you to decide that it will, your financial goals will be achieved. So you wrote down some goals, you wrote down your vision for your future. Now we're going to intentionally say, okay, I have this much debt. By next month, I'm going to reduce my debt. I do not always operate with debt. I can have, I can pay off this debt. I have this much savings. By next month, I'm going to increase my asset because I'm going to save more. I do not always just keep, I do not always spend everything I earn. My assets increase. And the more you believe my assets increase, my net worth increases, it will start to lead you to take action steps like increasing your savings, increasing your investments, reducing your liabilities, reducing your debt. That will lead to the result that you want, which is increasing your net worth, which is increasing the amount of money that you have, which is pushing you towards financial independence, one step at a time. Do you see what I mean? Great. Feel free to ask any questions if you do have any questions. I will repeat the assignment one last time. First, we talked about cash flow. So that is your income and your expenses. So I want you to list all your income and list all your expenses, but the expenses we split into two categories, essential and variable. Then I want you to calculate your net worth. And your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. So that's the assignment for today. Two things. Find out do your cash flow and your net worth. If you have any questions, email me. And at the end, once you're done, email me day 5 done. Right? Okay, great. I'm going to see you tomorrow at day 6. I can't wait. We are pushing, ramping things up, and it's getting really clear. Okay, have a great day. Enjoy, and take action, and invite more friends. I'm so blessed to have you with us. Okay, I'll end this for today. Bye.